The Afro-One Show, voice of a new tribe, where the Afropolitan spirit rises as we come together to rebuild Africa, Nigeria, and its marketplace, empowering its people and the diaspora with everything they need. Together, we form a new tribe, creating opportunity and access to markets, driving reinvestments, fostering collaboration, and working to elevate and one another with proven solutions. A true revival in Africa is possible, despite the challenges, though through intentional development that drives innovation, delivers mutual benefits, and inspires a culture of ownership for Africa and Africans. The time is now to unite, innovate, elevate with the Afropolitan Apostle, Darlington Steve, on the Afro-One Show, voice of the new tribe.
All right, family. Good morning. No, it's not morning, it's afternoon, all the way from Nigeria. It's afternoon, so pardon me for that. Good afternoon and welcome to Voice of a New Tribe. And I believe that you all are blessed and are well rested. First and foremost, I think I want to apologize for what happened on Friday. This was due to technical issues, especially within the telecommunication side of things. And so, but we're grateful for the fact that you are able to watch either live currently, or maybe you're part of those who are going to watch the repeat program. And we just want to say thank you so much. And I think also for me, I'm trying as much as possible to get used to the system, because whether I would like it or not, very soon, this might end up becoming an everyday thing. This is me warning the guys behind the scenes to say, okay. But nonetheless, for today, the show literally is every Friday by 2 p.m. And for now, except if something would pop in whereby we would change, then to be a different ballgame entirely. So I think for today, one of the things there is the fact that this Friday we may not be having a live event around that 2 p.m. So today on would be able to subsidize for on Friday. So please make sure that I want to say not to tune in, but still go on the YouTube channel and watch one or two content that will end up empowering you. So this Friday, there will be no live broadcast. But on Wednesday at exactly 7 p.m., we will be having live broadcast on the Armed Forces Radio. For those of you who are diaspora community, you can then listen to it via Mix LR. 7 p.m. Nigerian time, which will be 8 p.m. South Africa. Other countries find their own time. That's the only thing I can say at the moment. So, but with that being said, today I'm going to be talking about pricing. Pricing is one of the biggest things in every business, whether we like it or not. If the pricing model of your business is not well, the ability for your business to scale and grow to become that Fortune 500 company that you are looking for may not even be in view. And so because of that, today we want to look at the whole concept of pricing, especially in a crowded space. And I think somebody was asking me a question about why do I focus on crowded spaces? Because an average business in Nigeria, for me at the moment, is literally gearing towards a crowded market. And so you see people going out for trend. People are going out for what is selling. There was a time where we were locked down globally and everybody was selling face mask and hand sanitizer, but nobody was literally educating people on what to do. So in a crowded space, there's always still what to do in a crowded space. But since I have come to understand that many people prefer crowded space kind of business, but there is a way you can also be able to create a niche for yourself in that very particular crowded market. And that's what we've been talking in the past, I think if I'm not mistaken, past 3 to 4 weeks of this very particular broadcast. And so today we'll be looking intensively into the pricing system of things. How do you price your product? What are the things that determine the current price that you are pricing? How do you benchmark with the current, what's it called, financial and fiscal policies of your country, or maybe the nation or the community where you stay in determine your pricing? How do you price as a startup? How do you price as a medium person? How do you price as a Fortune 500? Which obviously the reason why you're Fortune 500 is because you are pricing well. But for us as everyone, it's all about the startup side of things, whereby we want you to get to the point where you can start scaling your business. And so because of that, without wasting much of our time, I'll be going straight into the business of today. But before I do that, remember that this very particular show It's proudly sponsored by Ethan Gold and Charlotte Prime Homes. They have an offer currently that you might want to take an advantage of, and you can use the number that is currently scrolling down to be able to get information. So, what are they offering? They are offering us 100 square, it's 500 square meter of landed properly currently in Karshi, within the border of Nigeria, border of Nasarawa and Abuja. And so they are offering a 500 square meter for 700,000 naira, which is less than 10,000 rand in South Africa. And so I want to encourage you, if you have the 700,000 outright payment, why not? You can then become a landowner in Nigeria, or maybe if you're Nigeria, living in Nigeria, you can then own a particular portion of land currently in the country. And so I want to encourage you, please call them. But this is an interesting thing about their offering currently. They also, because they understand how the economic situation of things are, and that's one of the things about the pricing stuff that we're also going to be talking about, coming from the same thing that the Eaton Gold family are doing, is the fact that you also can be able to pay that 700,000 instrumentally, which means if you are going to go for 3-month option, you are going to be paying a bit bigger than 700. I think, if I'm not mistaken, almost close to 760 thereabout. But you can call them. So they have a 3-month offer, they have a 6-month offer, they have a 10-month offer. And if you use the Afro One Show or my name, the Afropolitan Apostle, as a catchphrase, for those of you who are below 100,000, you may be able to get their 50,000 monthly payments, which will then transact into 24 months. So I want to encourage you, please give them a call. The number that is currently scrolling down, you can take an advantage of it and just call them and say, you want to buy land, you heard about the land on this live show, and you just want to be able to get whatever tiers that that's comfortable for you. For those of you who are diaspora family, my diaspora people, if you want to buy your land, I'm your boy for you to get to. You can definitely inbox me on all of the platform that you are watching currently and ask me to be able to help you facilitate. And I promise you, I would do that free of charge, but you will pay for the services that they are going to render you. I will do that for you free of charge by recommending the people to you, making sure that. And I think somebody was asking me the other day, saying, are you in this very particular land thing? Yes, I'm in it 100%. So which means I'm going to be overseeing to make sure that everything that you need from when you finish making your payment and you getting your documents sent to you to your location where you are, either in South Africa, Rwanda, Kenya, or Namibia, any of that part, we'll have to find the physical address and send it to you there. But at least these 4 countries that I've mentioned, yes, I am part of the Ethan Gold Estate project that is happening currently in Karachi. So fear not. All the title documents are available. If you want them on request, you can then be able to ask, and we will definitely make sure that you get all of those very particular documents for your verification. And if you trust me, the Afropolitan Apostle, you can then be able to send your 700,000 once off, or you call them for an instrumental payment for 3 months, 6 months, and 10 months. But if you fall within the minimum wage, which is 8,000 rand less, you can then be able to ask them for the monthly instrumental payment of 24 months, which is 50,000 naira. With that being said, I have done my part as my proud sponsor so that I can then be able to continue my business of the day. Now, let's look at pricing. Pricing, which is very important. That is what drives every business, whether we like it or not. I think one of the things which I put here, and I said Nigerian businesses are currently crowded market. And it's not just about having a product, it is about having a structure. And that's one of the things also that I noticed. Structure is also a big issue where an average business just wake up in the morning, do their thing. And, I think I was talking to somebody yesterday and the person was saying that, so the reason why I'm not following up is because I'm busy pursuing my urgent 2K. And I heard the urgent 2K, I'm pursuing my urgent 2K. I laughed. I said, this urgent 2K business. But I think all my people urgent 2K. I just remembered now also. So I was now saying to this person, I said, no, there is an urgent 2K thing we do in the office on Monday. I was like, that is a good one. And they will also adopt that very particular thing. So every company listening to me, please include urgent 2Ks. Before your staff use your company to do urgent 2K. So you just give them the urgent 2K and go. But that's something for me. And so the whole issue of structure, which is very important, especially also with pricing that we're talking about, you must be able to get your pricing right. You must be able to understand how to collect deposit, because there are ways you can collect deposit. Nigeria, for me at the moment, I've noticed is they hardly, and I use the word hardly, I'm not saying all, but they hardly do this collection of deposit thing. because I've tried as much as possible to buy some things, especially to do business with one-on-one. And I struggle when the person tells me, no, you have to pay me upfront. And I'm like, okay, no, that's fine. Like, how much? You're like, no, everything. I'm like, what did you drink? I wanted to use the other word, but I just remember that this is online. I'm like, what did you drink? 100% of the money is like, it ain't going to happen. Never. Because why? I came from a structured place where we don't just do 100%. Like, I know that, yes, you are good at a job. Even the best of the best company, they don't do 100%. They don't. And I'm going to show you, dependent on the level where you are, what percentage where are you going to be able to put out there so that you can then be able to get the product. And so client pays for trust as much as they pay for services, to be very honest. And that's the truth. Client pay for trust as much as they will pay for services. So in the end, professionalism is the real innovation. So with that being said, let's look at 5 things that would be able to help us understand our pricing model. 5 things quickly. And after then, I was told that some of you would want to call for the pitch of 50,000 naira. You can then be able to call after my conversation is over. Otherwise, the man behind the camera will not like the call because it interrupts the production. So stay on the line. And for those of you on the WhatsApp group, information will be given to you as to when to be able to call. And for those of you watching live, when I'm done, you hear me as I'm done, they can start calling. Use the number that is currently underneath my name, and then use that to call and let's talk all things business. Yes, I think I remember now. It's an email I received. You want to do business in Nigeria? Yes, it's possible to do business in Nigeria, but I want to advise you, please consult properly. And one of the things we do as AfriOne Network, we help in consulting of businesses and opportunities that's available in Nigeria. So take an opportunity of you visiting our website, which is known as afrione.africa, for you to see all the products that we're currently offering. One of them is business entry into Nigeria or any of the African country that is of a choice to you. So yes, to answer your question, I just remember now, thank you, Holy Spirit. So please, yes, you can come to business in Nigeria, but let's help you make sure that what you need, you get it. Number 1, in terms of pricing, I think the topic here, I say pricing, payments, professionalism, how startup can win in the professional or in a crowded market. So number 1, as we begin to look, is going to be about 5 points. Number 1, know your value and price right. Know your value. Most of the time, the reason why many of us don't price the way we're supposed to price is because to a large extent, you are literally looking for urgent 2Ks and you don't know the value that you are literally bringing on the table. The reason why the whole concept of urgent 2K is currently now running in Nigeria is because of the survival instinct that many of us are literally going into instead of taking out time for us to be able to put value on the table. For instance, I bought this book of Tony Illuminati. No, is it not Tony Illuminati? What's the name of this man? Femi Otedola. Yes, sorry. You know, I love you so much. Femi Otedola, I love you too also. But it's Femi Otedola I want to say. I bought his book and I was remembering, I think that was a particular chapter I was reading where he was explaining about how he entered into the market of oil and gas and how the pricing literally affected him so well to the point that it literally crushed his business because he was buying at a particular amount and all of a sudden the pricing model he was bringing on the table and the market also affected to the point that he lost billions, I think if I'm not mistaken, over 200 billion naira to the point that he lost almost all his assets and had to start again. That's how important pricing is. But guess what? He was offering value, but at that moment, the pricing structure, which is the fiscal policies in Nigeria at that very particular moment, affected everything. So which means, number 1, know your value. One of the things in which I put here, I said, in knowing your value, you must be able to cost plus your pricing. If you use the word, I said cost plus your pricing. How do you cost plus your pricing? Number 1, you calculate the material, the labor, the time, and also the profit margin that you want to put on top of it. But this is the thing that many of us make. And I was saying that to my younger sister when we were talking yesterday. I said to her, I said, the reason why you are not seeing profit that much in your business at the moment is because you have not taken time for you to understand what is the replacement cost of that very particular product that you are producing. So which means there are some of you literally, if you are producing, for example, this very particular glass that I'm holding here, You might cost everything plus your margin for $100. But when you factored in the replacement cost of this very particular glass, again, if somebody will buy this glass, what is the replacement cost of it for this glass again to come back on the table for somebody to buy it again? You might be so shocked that your pricing for this glass will literally not be $100 again anymore. After calculating your material, your labor, your everything, you'll be so shocked that the cup of this glass may end up becoming $300. Remembering that you are offering value. Because you will see somebody who will say, why will I buy the glass for $50? I mean, for $100 when I can go to the market and I'll buy it for $20. But are you buying value? Are you buying quality product? If you know the value that your product is offering, pricing will become easy. Pricing will become easy. So which means you don't charge based on just the cost or the product. You charge based on the value that you are delivering. The value that you are delivering. For instance, I'm going to give you an example of a photographer. Maybe because when I came into Nigeria, I needed to take a particular pictures and stuff, which the one you are seeing whereby I hold cap like this. I just like that picture. That picture looked like my signature. It's okay. Now, this is the thing about, I'm using a photographer now. The difference between a photographer who is charging based on Survivor Urgent 2K and a photographer who is serving value. Now, let's look at it. A photographer may come and say, okay, Darlington, I want to charge you 50,000 naira for me to come shoot your stuff. Now I'm like, okay, fine, 50,000, that's okay. And another person may come and tell me that he's charging me 150,000 naira. This, in your mind, you'll be thinking for the same camera, which they want me to just put it in, just do pa, 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 and that is all. But guess what? The one who is coming to just snap me and go, that is his own for 50,000. But this one who is charging me 150,000 naira, look at the value he's going to add. For example, he's going to be adding pre-consulting. That, okay, these are the things that we are going to do. He's going to consult with me, ask me the kind of style. What is the intention of my pictures? Why do I want to take this very particular picture? Why am I choosing this set? He is going to give me other kind of set for me to be able to see how the things are going to look at the final product. So all of that metrics that he is putting on board, including fast delivery, is why he's charging me 150,000 and you are charging me 50,000. Now, let's say this. Have you noticed that people who charge you based on Survivor, they end up delivering very late? They deliver very late. Because why? They were just looking for Urgent 2K. Here's Urgent 2K thing name. Woo! I learned it in Nigeria, so you guys will pardon me. They were looking for Urgent 2K. But guess, the ones who charge you beyond 50,000 naira, and they charge the photographer who charge you 150,000 would deliver fast, and yet they give you more value to the product that you are offering. My question to you today is this. In your business that you are doing currently, are you putting your price based on the value that you are offering, or you are surviving, or you are busy searching for your Urgent 2K? Which is why many of us are still struggling in terms of pricing. If you are producing this cup, like I say, based on the value this cup, let's say, for example, you're even customizing a cup. I think the other day I was asking, I'm looking for somebody that is going to customize this very particular bag. I have this bag that I'm holding called an African map bag. I'm looking for somebody who's going to, and I bet you chances are somebody will come and meet me now and tell me, okay, Sam, for me to customize this bag, what do you want? Ask me all the aesthetics that I'm going to need in the bag and stuff, and decide to charge me $100. And somebody will just tell me, sir, just give me $20. I'll do it for you sharp. Chances are the $20 sharp, the bag quality may not be good. But the ones who's going to charge me $100, who will be charging me based on the features and what the value of that bag is going to do for me by seeking my own input into the product. You have to be able to know. Startup, please hear me. You have to be able to offer price based on value, not just based on the cost of the product or based on the margin. I just want to make extra 10K on top of the thing. I buy this stuff for 100,000 naira. Let me put 20,000 on top of it, make me 120. You'll be shocked. You will lose money. You will lose money. So number two, quickly, what do you do when you are trying to price your product as a startup? Is the fact that is what I call the ability for you to put on professional payment structure. And I like this one. See this one? I love to like it. If there's an English like that, I love to like it. Why? It is because standard rule of thumb says that you either give 60% upfront and 40% on completion. Now, that is the standard rule of thumb. Nigeria, I'm sorry, it's a dololo, like we say it in South Africa. Nigeria want 100%, and hear me, no business survive on 100% down payment. No business, except I have done business with you over time and I believe in the value on the product that you are going to give me. But as a startup, that I'm meeting you for the first time, I have not tested you, I have not trusted you, I don't understand the metrics in which you use to produce that product, and you're asking me for 100%. I'm sorry, me, Darlington, I'm not going to do business with you. And that's why many of you are currently losing clients. You are losing client because you are trying to charge the client 100% of the money that they have not tested you on. Hear me. Let me say this. You are not the only one that is selling that product in the market. Too. Remember, we are discussing crowded market. You are not the only one selling that exact product or that exact idea or that exact services. You are not the only one doing it. But if you're not going to come up with the standard measure, use the word standard measure, 60% demand down payment and 40% completion of the payment, I bet you'll be out of business. You will be out of business. And this is me. Standard for smaller businesses. I think I said I'm going to break it down. For smaller businesses, your ability for you to charge between 30% to 50% of the total amount of money, because why? You are trying to build trust. In this game of crowded market, trust is the changer. Trust is the game changer. If I'm not going to trust you in crowded, for example, there is a particular place that I like withdrawing because POS is a crowded market currently now in Abuja, Nigeria, as a stuff. But there is a guy that I have been able in Abuja for me to go to meet him. And I think I was told that even everybody in the office go to the guy by the corner. But guess what? There is somebody literally down the road opposite us here. We will skip that person and go to the other one by the corner. Because why? It's trust. In fact, there was a particular day whereby the guy made a mistake, and I laughed when the guy said so. He made a mistake. We wanted to withdraw a particular amount of money from him, and so he made a mistake of giving us over 10,000 of that very particular money. And by the time I counted the stuff, and I'm like, no, this thing is over, dude. Count it again. The guy counted it. He's like, no, the thing is just extra. I said, count it again. He now discovered that the thing was extra with extra 10,000 naira. Guess what? He reduced the price of the amount that I was requesting because I returned back his 10,000. The both of us, we've built trust. Now, this is where the thing was now interesting. It is so interesting now to the point that because he knew that every Monday I will come to meet him for me to be able to get cash, he now make it a point of duty on Sunday or Monday early morning to go to the bank and withdraw what you guys call it, clean note. Because he knows I like clean note. Why? He has gone beyond just offering me the product by adding value. This my client like clean note. In fact, I remember one of the week like that. He was not around. Then he asked one of his friends to help him do the business and stuff. Now the friend, when I got there, the friend looked at me. He says, "Sir, are you the one who comes in with this very particular driver, blah blah blah, all those very particular thing?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Ah, no, sir, we can't give you this money. Bring the money." And he went, opened the bag, and brought it in. But I was laughing. Why? The guy has understand the place of value. He now knows that this is my customer. I'm going to retain him. And guess what? Chances are he's even charging me higher than the normal amount. Chances are it's very high. I don't know, but the value of what I want, he is offering it. The same thing also applies to you when it comes to your standard rule of thumb. So, which means what you must then begin to do is the fact that you must learn how to use contract, learn how to use receipt, and also invoice to show professionalism. Now, only Nigeria go say somebody go send money, boza, and the next minute no invoice, no receipt, and the next minute you go say you don't pay. I say, I'm beginning to adjust my mind to that. Like, okay, so I used to ask for receipt, but now I made peace. Because when you ask them for receipt, they'll look at you like, why are you asking for receipt? Like, it's strange. It's strange. Like, okay, why are you asking for receipt? Hear me. You must be able to get to the point where you begin to adapt the standard rule of thumb. And this is me here. You are a cobbler, you are a plumber, you are a whatever as a startup. Please remove your mind now from start asking 100% of payment before you do that job. Otherwise, you'll be broke and you will literally not be able to even get your urgent 2K. Be fast for you to be able to let the people trust you. Ask for a down payment. Sir, you're going to pay me 60% of the money. When the job is done, you will balance me with the 40%. Now, that puts some level of confidence in the person that is doing business with you to say you are not a katamachans. You are not the one that will just wake up in the morning that I give you 100%, then I'm going to start looking for you. Now, funny enough, let me say this. The people who you pay the full amount of money, most times are the ones who delay in doing the job. But the ones who you give 50, 60%, they do the job because their deposit is in their hand. Chances are the deposit that it's left is their profit. So they'll quickly do this stuff and move to the next business. So please understand the rule of thumb of payment structure. 60-40. If you believe that the client will trust you. But if you are starting up, I will advise you, do 50-50. Or worst case scenario, do 40-60. And 40-60 in the sense that you collect the 40%, let them hold 60%. In fact, I think I remember there is this project that I was doing then in South Africa. I don't want to mention it because it's a sensitive project. And all of the way we even structured the payment was this. We structured the first payment to be 40%. In the process of this business, we end up doing a 35. So it's 40, 35, 35. Because I understand the volume of what that very particular project is. And the amount is going to cost that at every phase level. The price, some certain money needs to come. And guess what? By the time it gets to the 50%, the last 35% for it to be done and stuff, the guy did not even know. I paid him because I could see that the thing is already finished and stuff. Because it takes extra 3 weeks after the job is done for me to complete his remaining 35%. Do we have that structure in Nigeria? If the answer is yes, kudos. But if you don't have it in your business, please start. No, especially those of you who are contractors, property contractors. 100% business is not going to work. What's it called? 50-50 is not going to work. For those of you who are huge contractors, chances are you might structure your payment this thing based on mileage or based on milestone. When we finish the foundation, you pay us this. When we take it to the lintel level, you pay us this. When we do the roofing, you pay us this. When we do the plastering, you pay us this. When we do the flooring, you pay us this. Before you know what is going on, the owner of the project is comfortable knowing too well that, yes, you are going to do the job. With that being said, let's look at point number 3. Remember, we're going to 5 points. Point number 3, we're talking all things pricing. Remember that this very particular podcast or vlog, whatever you want to call it, is proudly sponsored by Eaton Gold. And Eaton Gold literally are offering a 500 square meters of property currently in Abuja, Karushi, for as low as 700,000 naira Nigerian currency and less than 10,000 rand South African currency, which you can break your instrumental payment for 3 months, 6 months, 10 months. And if you use the promo code, the Afropolitan Apostle, you might be able to negotiate a discount, 1. And number 2, you might also be able to negotiate a longer term of your payment system if you earn below 1,000 rand, which is below 70,000 naira in Nigeria. With that being said, point number 3, you must be willing for you to be able to understand your pricing, educate with clients with confidence. Educate the clients with confidence. Don't just ask for money. Explain what the deposit will buy. I know, you see, as I'm saying this, I'm laughing in my mind. Trust in my country is a scarce commodity. You have to find it in the eyes of an elephant to get one. But you can be different. You can be different. You can be different in such a way by you explain why you need a deposit for the job to be done. Why do you need the deposit? You explain to the people that is going to cover the service. It's going to cover the delivery. It's going to cover the cost. It's going to even make make the delivery faster. Even the material, you make them understand. All of these, explain why you need 60. Don't just tell me, no, my business structure is the fact that I take 80%. Why? Me. I'll ask you. I'll ask you, why do you need 80%? And you must tell me the reason why you need 80%. Because if you don't tell me the reason why you need 80%, then clearly I would suspect you that, okay, what are you up to? That's the thing. Explain. Let them know that, okay, this is the thing. A value-added client, a person who understands the market, and let me say this, an average people do understand. Sometimes we may become cocky in trying to I want to see whether you know it, but we all do. If you tell us that you are charging us for the product or the services of 100,000 naira, for instance, we know that, okay, 500,000 naira is inclusive of your cost, your profit, and everything. But when you ask us to pay 50% of the money, we want to know what the 50% will do, not because we want to check what's your profit. No, we just want to know what the 50% will do, so that when we are paying for it, and all you just need to do is to buy the material, then the remaining 50%, buy the material, deliver the stuff, start the foundations, whatever the thing that you are doing, explain. Then the remaining 50%, by the time the job is done, I have to pay the workers, I have to be able to get my profit and all of those very particular things and co. You don't need to tell us what your profit is, but it's called breakdown. It's a breakdown system. So educate your client. One of the things in which I say clients respect structure. Lack of structure is lack of seriousness. Client respect structure. The reason why you will see the rich, for lack of a better word, will always do business with the rich. There's some certain level of structure that those guys they have. I remember with Otedola book that I'm currently reading, he says that I think he was talking something about paying premiums for a product that you need, because if you now go for chipile, like we call it in South Africa, if you go for chipile, you then pay more out of it. And so because of that, they may not come down to you to buy product. There is a particular scripture in the Bible that always I have used that as a model for me. I think it's in Isaiah chapter 60. For me, I turned that to business. It says, kings shall come to thy light. I mean, Gentiles shall come to thy light, but kings only come to the brightness of your rising. Why? Gentiles will only buy based on the level at which you are operating. Kings only come when they see that your rising has now become in view. And remember, kings don't like stress. Kings pay for ease of doing business with you. They will pay premium for you to short 10 months to 10 days. They will pay premium. But when you go with Gentiles don't mind dragging that 10 months to 10 years. And yet your money is still stuck. And guess what? Some certain Gentiles, literally, it's not about the suit they wear, it's the mindset they carry. The same thing also applies with kings. Some certain kings are still in Egypt. They've not gone to the promised land. So you must be able to differentiate the kind of people, and you do that with education. Do it with education. When Femi Otedola was talking about it as to some certain people, I think he was talking about a particular, I've forgotten his name now, one of the CEO that runs his company, how he literally went to poach this guy from Owando filling station to get the guy to come and work with him. Because why? Can I be honest with you? Chances are there are people who currently now can do better than that guy. But because he's a king and a captain in his industry, and this guy who is at Owando, he has grown to the level where his product offering can serve the Dangotes, the Otedolas, and the Adenugas, there is no way that light will not shine for them to find him. My question to you, is your light so risen to the point that kings can find you based on the professional systems and structure that you have put in place? You must. You must. Some of you are busy praying, binding the devil, disturbing some of your pastors about some certain things, where literally the problem that you are facing is literally a structure problem, a mind shift, an ability for you to disrupt your industry by coming up with innovative systems and strategy that will give you an edge with what others are currently doing. Point number 4. As we begin to bring our thought to a close, point number 4. What I put here, I said professionalism win in crowd market. How does that mean? It's the fact that number 1, your branding, your contracts, your structure payments separate you from hustlers. It separates you from the urgent 2Ks. How do you brand your product? One of the things that we as Afri-One Theme Nigeria here is doing, we have a department where those ones that just specialize in the branding of product that we give out to our guests. And most of the time, by the time I meet the guests, they get shocked. Like, look, I saw this very particular thing inside the bag, and that's amazing. I think one of the guests literally saw me at the zoo. Saw me at the zoo. The way the guy hugged me, I'm like, dude, we are standing close to snake. You can't be doing that. We are close to snake. You have to be coming down. But what does that mean? And one of the things in which he said by the time I got home, and his wife and his mother saw the thing, and he said to me, they have never seen that kind of packaging in which to the point that the mother was asking to say if I can share a number as a client they want to bring. Simply because of the branding. I can tell you point blank. Branding. The content is not even out yet. So I can't say it's the interview. It's the branding. Why? Because you must understand that how you package your product and how you be able to put the system around your product will determine if your pricing is going to make sense to the people or you are just hustling. Please, I'm begging. I understand that Nigeria will not make you be creative. But hear me, in the place of mess, there is still a message. In the place of chaos, there is still opportunity. In the place of lack of system, you can still create system. And this is me now using this opportunity to talk to our country president and its parastatals. I'm not attacking anybody, but I'm just talking about the office. So please don't come with saying I said this. The people who are sitting at the leadership position, please, I'm begging you. Nigerian entrepreneurship space is literally choking. People are now beginning to find an excuse as to why they will not invest in Nigeria. And you know You are hearing me. You know, people are jackbarring, including investors who came into the country to invest. The ones who are currently running, and some of the time when I think I met few of them also over the weekend, and I was talking to them because I was quick to ask them which sector are they sitting. Guess what? The sector they are sitting, the sector of consulting in terms of tax revenue and all of those things, and number two, in terms of constructions of road. So you can't really take that and say you're using that as an employment benchmark. If the people of the country cannot be creative enough for them to come up with an idea and see that their idea grow to a point of fruition, then literally we are failing as far as a country in terms of producing quality product. That's why at this point, 65 years almost, because 1st of October, almost 65 years, we are still a consuming country and not a productive country. Why? Because of systems. Please, my government, Nigeria, Africa, I beg you, look into the people. Look at that. See, don't just ignore our cries. All of this talk we're talking is to make you understand that we are creative people. We believe in the country Nigeria, but if you force us not to believe, literally, who will jackpot? I think as the president of Jackpot Association of Nigeria, self-acclaimed, self-acclaimed Jackpot Association of Nigeria, I will encourage people to go if they know they have the idea. With that being said, point number 4. Is it 4 or 5? Yeah, still on number 4. Yeah. So, like I said, the whole issue of structured. Number 5 now, which is the final one before we go on. Before we go, start receiving call. Number 5, offer flexible payment without losing values. Offer flexible payment. Why did I decide to say this? Remember, I was talking about 810 Gold. Why currently now they are offering a flexible payment of 3 months, 6 months, 10 months. And if you use my promo code, the Afro1 Show, the Afropolitan Apostle, you then get 24 months. Why? It is because, guess what? The value of the land literally still stays. They have already calculated that in the next 2 years of that very particular land, even you who is doing 50,000, in 2 years from now, it's about 1.2. That time, the value of that land is no more 1.2 million. I can bet you point blank from the evaluation we have done thus far, that land will be going for more than 3.5 million for even less than 500 square meter. That's a good investment. But guess what? You can only be able to enter into that space if you don't have the money by this point number 5 that I'm going to mention. Please, business owner, in part of your pricing, learn how to offer flexible payment system without losing the value. Just because I'm going to be paying 50,000 for it does not mean that you are going to reduce the standard of the sobo that you are producing. Say, no, it's going to be 50,000. Let me remove the ginger. Literally, that one person who you are giving that 50,000 discount or that 50,000 chance to pay, you don't know who is within his circle that he can recommend to the business. And the next minute that you know, boom, it's either you're in business or you are out of business. So I'm saying this in the sense that you begin to learn in your business how to create tiers. Create a silver package, a gold package, a platinum package, or maybe stage 1, stage 2, stage 17, dependent on the kind of stage that you want to create. It's not up to you. But hear me, in doing all of that, please do me a favor. Do not lose value. You see that one, value. If there is a takeaway that I want to take away from this very particular pricing model, is please be strong on value. Be strong on value. One of the things we're doing currently as everyone is the fact that even though most of the times we might be tired, but we want to become that value-added company whereby it's not just about getting 50,000 from our hand, it's also about us teaching you stuff that can literally guide you. I know how much it would have cost if you go for consulting on this pricing for your business. It will cost you more. An average consulting in this very particular country in Nigeria literally will cost you 250,000 naira. In South Africa, if you don't have about 2,500 rand, you are not going to meet any business consultant. For them to even just sit with you with 30 minutes just to look at your business, that's a consulting. They are not giving you a solution. They just want to consult and stuff. But we are doing all of this for you currently for free of charge simply because we want to be a value-added company. Where tomorrow when you come and you want to consult with us concerning your business idea and stuff, you are guaranteed and sure and know that these people know what they are saying and they can be able to guide me into excellence and also into scalability in my business. So as I begin to bring my thought to a close, please find a way of offering basic package, mid-flexible payment. If you know that, yes, for example, with Ethan Gold, I'm going to use that as my case study now. With Ethan Gold currently now, the outright payment of the 500 square meter is literally 700,000 rand once off payment. But now they now make you to understand that if you go on a 3 months, you are paying 750,000 plus. If you go, which is monthly, if you go on a 6 month, you are paying 200,000 plus. If you go on a 10 months, you are paying 300,000 plus. If you are now going on, so when you look at it, they break the flexible payment to be able to meet your financial goal. Have you been able to even check your clients who are doing business with you? Have you checked their financial capacity? Or you are just assuming God is going to bring my client? I'm a Christian. I also have to go to that route. You have this man say, God is going to bring my client. My client is going to come. Jesus is my marketing manager. Even Jesus used 5 loaves and 2 fish to do miracle. So while you are busy saying God is going to bring my client for me, just remember that he also managed small businesses. The place where he has 5,000 people. Yes, he did not negate the fact that, yes, he can call manna from heaven, but he used what was on ground. And I think I remember this morning when I was preparing coming now. Thank you, Holy Spirit, for reminding me this. See, let me say this as part of your brand as you are beginning to put your price in. Please hear me. There was a statement Jesus asked his disciple in the holy book called the Bible. There was a statement he asked the disciple, which is, what do men say about me? Hear me as a business owner. I also do that. Be conscious of what people are talking about you. Jesus was not shy that, yes, I'm the omnipotent. Before the foundation of the world was formed, I've been there. It is me, Christ, that formed the foundation of world. When they say, let there be light, I was there. I was making all of that. Guess what? All that was not in his mind at the moment, because he understands that perception is also pricing. If they price him less, it's because of how people perceived the ministry. And guess what? Jesus was not afraid of starting again to make sure that the brand perception is literally received by the right people. He asked question, what do people say about me? And they said, you are this, you are that, you are that. Then he now brought the question into his internal structure, because he wanted to know, why is all of this different perception is coming? Let me check from inside. He now asked his team, what do you say about me? And thank God for Peter. Say, thou art Christ, Son of the Most High God. And from that statement, it says, on that revelation of yours, I will build my church, and the gate of hell shall not prevail. But what am I trying to make you understand is the fact that the perception of your business can also determine your price, can also determine the kind of value that people see you as. I remember a particular message. I think I'm trying to remember which man of God brought that. He says the reason why that he went on a fast for strangers in his church was not good. I think it's Bishop David Oyedepo. He said the church was not growing and all of that. And all of a sudden, he went to pray. And all of a sudden, he said he saw from the vision and stuff, there was a cloud covering this thing. And people were literally looking at his church as a, for lack of a better word, white garment church. And he was shocked. But guess what? Something was covering. For those of you who are Christians, chances are, if you are not breaking into the market the way you're supposed to break into, number one, go spiritual and pray. But please don't just stay there. Come to physical. Jesus finished praying. He come down, asked the disciple, what are people saying? Have you asked your client, what is the review of my product? Have you asked your staff, how do they perceive? There are some of my staff currently now, whereby sometimes they send me a message about, and sometimes I will see the message they post on the group, this thing and co. And I looked at it because why? They are already perceiving where we are going gradually, and their narratives in which they are sharing currently, I could understand it. Because why? Perception of either your staff or the people out there can determine the price and the product or the pricing that you will give out there. I say all of these to advise somebody out there to please hear me. As we begin to bring our thought to a close within the next 20 minutes that the line is open for call, please, I want you to understand these 5 things. I'm going to be quick with it. Is number 1, stop pricing blindly, calculate cost, and add your profit. And in adding profit, add the replacement cost of that product. Number 2, never start without a down payment. Hear me, no matter what you are producing, never start without a down payment. Even though it's me, you are doing business with me. If I notice that you are not asking for down payment, I'll be worried. To a large extent, I'll be quiet. I'll say, okay, go and do it, but I will be looking for somebody else because I don't know where you are going to get the money from. But I will just like, okay, no, since you don't want down payments, fine, I'll wait for you, but I'm looking for somebody else again. So please never start any business, whether you are a mechanic, you are a tailor, you are a whatever, ask for down payment and make sure that your down payment is not more than, for a startup, it's not more than 50%. Not more than 50%. Number 3, use receipt, invoice, and contract to make you look professional. Do that. invoice, contract, use receipt. When everybody signs, when people are buying product, give them receipt, write it, paid 40,000, left with 60,000, have a document. Because guess what? The moment you get to the level where your business is growing and you need funding, all of those receipt payment systems and structure will be demanded by the VCs who wants to invest in your business. They will demand it. Number 4, communicate payment structure clearly and confidently. Do you see how I'm talking about gold product offering? Because it's confidence. I'm sure that yes, that payment structure would hold. I think I remember they were telling me about a client who came into the office this morning and was asking for a particular method of payment that he wants. At the end of the day, I was saying to my team, I said, at the end of the day, if he's going to meet the 10-month structure that we have put on the ground, it's okay, let him take it and stuff, because we still have to live up to our word, regardless of him trying to change the system, but it still fall within our own system. I'm like, it's okay. So you must be able to communicate payment structure clearly and confidently. And number 5, in the crowd market, professionalism, packaging and pricing, and discipline, will separate you for either a serious market or a serious business owner or a urgent 2K hustler. If you have any question you want to ask me on this very particular show, please feel free to ask your question so that we can then be able. And if not so, if you want to call up the line, the number is 08. I think I'm trying to remember the new number. I'm looking at it here. 08037441154. 08037441154. That's the number for you to call. Or you can still call us on our old number, which is 08127793453. That's the number for you to call us. If you have any question around pricing you want to ask, please feel free to drop your question on all of the channels that you are watching from, and then definitely we'll be able to answer you and make sure that, yes, you get that going. Questions? And so while your calls are being prepared to come in, I'm also just making sure that I have other things on my table. So when I see the light pop on, then I know. I still have about 19 minutes to call it a wrap from your face. If you have any question you want to ask me, maybe you're watching from Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram, you can ask your question so that we can then be able to. Okay, how are you doing? Good morning. I hope you are good. So that's the thing. So my show is over. Waiting for your question so that we then be able to bring it to a wrap this morning. All right, while that is happening, before your call comes in, please remember that our shows every Wednesdays is 7 p.m. live at the Armed Forces Radio. This week, I'm going to be asking a thought-provoking question. I don't want to say it here before you comment on it, but I want you to tune in and please tell your family, tell your friends, tell your loved ones. Let them join our AfriOne Network page. The WhatsApp group, because we're trying to create a community. And hear me, let me say this biasly. I look forward growing your business with you, one. But number 2 is the fact that you joining our community, direct community, you stand a better chance for you to be able to win easily. What I like it or not, that is this very particular thing we do once a week, which is the urgent 2K kind of vibes and stuff, which is part of also the system that the people inside the WhatsApp family, they benefit from. And I can tell you point blank, we've tried to be consistent, thus far in it, where sometimes the people don't get the questions we ask. And so many of them don't get the whole list because they were just doing chances. But what does that mean? It means that if there's any value product that is coming, the WhatsApp guys are considered first before it gets out to those places. So that is one. Then number 2, as a quick announcement, if you know you are selling a product, you know that you have a product of value, and you feel that you want us to talk about your product on the AfriOne show, either on the radio side of things or online currently, or maybe for you, you have the buck and you want to be able to get your product as part of the product placement for the AfriOne podcast show that we're doing, please, I want to encourage you. You can call us on the lines that is available beneath my name here and say you want to advertise or you want your product to be reviewed. Now, let me explain the product side, and that one is going to be for free. You have a product, you are a startup, you're just looking for a place for your product to be talked about, and you know you have 5 to 10 minutes for you to just come live. That is after we check your product, so that you can be able to talk to us live on any of the show that we do like this on Fridays. Today is Monday. Yeah, but on Fridays, I want to encourage you, please, you can then be able to post your video, I don't want to say post your number so that you don't get You don't get ambushed. But post your video in there, or probably use the number, the second number here, which is 08127793453. Yes, the second number here. Use that and send a WhatsApp. Obviously, you send it from your number. The team will call you and be able to ask you, are you doing the sponsorship side, or you just want to take opportunity of free advertising? Yes, we have free advertising package, which we will talk about your business for at least 5 to 10 minutes live online, so that people can be able to hear about your business. So please take advantage of that. And also, what else again am I missing? In terms of advertising, you want to do business in Nigeria and you are currently not don't know which sector to go, what are the policies? I want to encourage you, my diaspora family, take advantage. Visit our website, afrione.africa, and you'll be able to get all of the packages and the product that we have for you to take advantage of. With that being said, I will be going on a short break. Let me drink water. Then I'll come back and we will continue and begin to see a way of how to begin to bring this particular thought to a close. I choose to believe that you all understand me. Sometimes I tell everybody, say when people don't ask questions because they understand what you are trying to do. I'll be back just now. Don't go anywhere for me to begin to pick your call, answer some of your questions, and begin to bring my thought to a close.
The Afri-One Show, voice of a new tribe, where the Afropolitan spirit rises as we come together to rebuild Africa, Nigeria, and its marketplace, empowering its people and the diaspora with everything they need. Together, we form a new tribe, creating opportunity and access to markets, driving reinvestments, fostering collaboration, and working to elevate and one another with proven solutions. A true revival in Africa is possible despite the challenges, though through intentional development that drives innovation, delivers mutual benefits, and inspires a culture of ownership for Africa and Africans. The time is now to unite, innovate, elevate with the Afropolitan Apostle, Darlington Steve, on the Afri-One Show, voice of the new tribe.
Oh, yes, like they say, the time has come to dial into frequency that seeks to innovate, elevate, and also the first one, unite. So that's the time. So with that being said, family, I have a question here that is coming from Oluwatoyin. I hope I pronounce your name properly. So good morning, sir. I'm confused about pricing, sir. I made a survey on how people talk about my business. I was able to find out that I can do clean job, but my issue is the high price side of it. I can do clean job, but my issue is the high price side of it. I think the reason why I am, let me just put it up here. I'm trying to understand your question. Okay, I'm confused about pricing. Pardon me for me to read it again so that it stays on my head. I'm confused about pricing, sir. I made a survey on how people talk about my business. Please let me know, what business are you doing? Are you doing a cleaning service business? Because I'm assuming, and you said I was able to find out I can do a clean job. I'm just assuming it's a cleaning business. But my issue is the high price side of it. Now, the high price side of it you are talking about is a high price of the product to buy to do the clean job, or the high price that you are currently offering? Because I'm trying to understand which high price are we talking about. But I think one of the things I'm going to say, Olua Toyin. Okay, let me just stay with Toyin because that name is plenty. Toyin. I think one of the things I'm going to say that I'm going to give you kudos for is the fact that you did a survey of your business. And hear me, sometimes customers can be wrong because of their individual biases. If Mark Zuckerberg would have taken all the advice that people were giving him for Facebook, Facebook would not have been standing. But with that being said, I'm not saying don't consider what your customer review that they have been which is very good. But at the end of the day, in terms of the high price you are talking about, if the pricing that you have put on the services that you're rendering now, maybe for example, let's assume you're doing cleaning services, because that's the only way I can think of it. Let's assume you're doing cleaning and they are saying that the price of it is very high. Now, it's either the way you communicate your value is wrong to them, or number two, the people are literally not your client. Now, I know that that will be hard. See, let's say you are doing cleaning service. I'm assuming if you can send a message as to what you do, that will really help me so that I can be able to structure the solutions for you the way it should be. But let's just assume you're doing cleaning service and I approached your business and I say, okay, come clean my house. Now, the first thing I want to get to understand is this. Let me do this. I think let me come back because before I lost this call, I'll come back and talk about you. Good afternoon. How are you doing? Oh, oh, thank you so much. How are you? Oh, you are the one who sent message just now. Okay, that's good. God bless you for doing that. All right. I'm talking about your product because I read your message just now. What business are you doing currently? You're into tailoring. Okay, where are you located? Cuba. Oh, you're here in Abuja. Okay, you're into tailoring. So you said something about the high price of things. What does that mean? Okay. Okay. So that okay. Mm. Mm. Okay, I think the line went off. I'm trying to see if we can find. How do you redial number and stuff so that I think I've succeeded. I hope it's the right number that I'm redialing, so that let's just be able to call her back and so that we can then be able to have these conversations properly. So bear with us. We're trying to call back. Um, am I even dialing the right number? So that's where the problem. I think that's where the problem is for me. But nonetheless, if she's not picking, I can't even tell. How do you guys see receive call and this thing? I think, please pardon me. They will set it up and let me know how you say it so that I don't go dial the wrong number. Okay, while that is happening, hopefully that she's going to be watching this. If you're watching, my team is trying to dial your number back, so please pick the call. So you are producing clothes. You are a fashion designer. The pricing that the people are talking about, they say your product is the product is good, it's quality, but the pricing is this. Now the issue there is the fact that they have not been able, number one, like I said, understand the value of the product that you are currently offering. And number two, another thing you also need to begin to understand is this. I think I will encourage you start to begin to use the online side of things. The online side of things for you to be able to market your product to get to new eyes. Because sometimes, there is a particular passage in the Bible whereby the Bible says a prophet is not even recognized in his hometown. Somehow, because of the familiarity of the place you belong into, they may also be downplaying your creativity or trying to price you based on their previous perception of you. For example, Jesus was offering us services that literally is global in terms of its results, but yet, even the Bible says that he could not do miracle in his family, what's it called, construct of things. Because why? You know the popular statement, is that not the carpenter's son? That is literally. So sometimes you may be facing that, is that not the carpenter's son kind of narratives? Or maybe you are facing a mindset of people confused and deterrent as to what is happening and all of those very particular things. So I want to encourage you. What you will do, Oluwatoyin, is this: begin to use the Internet of Things, which is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and all of those things, to market your product to a different eye entirely, number one. And number two, the ability also for you to constantly communicate your value. But please do me a favor. Do not benchmark your price to say, okay, because everybody is doing it for 50,000 naira, I'm also going to do it for 50,000 naira. Please don't do that. Because the moment you do that, what would then happen is the fact that you are not going to be producing quality anymore. You will produce substandard product. So if you know that your product is good, your value is good, chances are you are targeting the wrong market, or you are targeting the wrong set of people to do business with. Yet, this is a thing you will do. The few who have bought your product, Toyin, ask them to do a review of your product, forgetting about what they will say. Ask them to do a review on a video for you. Take that very particular review of quality product and bomb it online. You'll be shocked, people. You will attract another new set of people who will pay that value of amount of money that you are looking for. Because why? You are literally delivering value. So I think that's the thing I'm going to say to you right now. And then so we take it up from there. Good afternoon. Okay, I think there is no call. So I think that's the only way I'm going to advise you, Toyin, for you to be able to do that. Good afternoon and welcome to Voice of a New Tribe. Okay, Toyin, I think I have just given the whole full advice on you online. Because we were trying to call you back and the number was not going through. So that's where the issue is. But maybe you might want to go back and watch it. But I'm just going to paraphrase for you now. I will encourage you, go back to the video and watch it again. You can fast forward it when we were done. Yeah, so that you see what I'm trying to explain. But the only thing I want to say to you is this: please, if you know that the product you are offering is of value, don't change your price, because if you change your price now, you will begin to produce substandard product. Remember, we're talking about value. It's value we're talking. If you know that the product you're producing is value, then all you need to do now is to begin to change your audience of your market. So what will you do? Like I explained before you call back, ask the people who you have done something for, whether it is last year or this year, tell them to do you a short video of their experience of your product. Gather all of that and literally bombard it online about the product that you are producing, because why? You need another new set of people. And like I was saying on online before you call back again, even Jesus suffered what you are currently suffering, but Jesus never exchanged, he never reduced his price value of his product. He maintained it. All he did was to now look for new sets of people, but he still maintained his value. Because even in his house, we get to see where he says a prophet is not known in his hometown. So chances are the people, in the words of Nigeria, I think they say, you don't see me finish. I mean, I see finish, something like that. Chances are they don't see you finish. That's the word. But now change the mark, get their reference, use their reference of good stuff that they have said about your product, and use it to get other different clients entirely to come into your business. Is that okay? I appreciate it. But please do me a favor, go back and watch this place from where you asked your question. But there's a lot of things in which I explained there, and then that will be beneficial to you. Is that okay? All right. Thank you, Lord Twain, for calling. We appreciate it. You're welcome. And so, family, that's how we come to the end. I think I can see on my clock there that we have 2 minutes to go, and that's a 2 minute for me to be able to do ad, so that at least our sponsors will be able to keep us on air. So please, if you are interested in the land buying, I want to encourage you, please call any of the number that is currently flying on that is very particular, especially the one I'm seeing now here, where it says for land viewing, booking, purchasing, please call this number, exactly the number that is currently here now. Use that one to call them and talk to them that you want to buy land for 500 square meter, 3, 6, 10 months. And if you use the Afri1 show as your promo code, you might be able to negotiate for a 24 months of 50,000. But T's and C's apply. Like they say, it's in the business term. So they will tell you the T's and C's and how the payment method should go. And in case if there is a shortfall from your side, what are the penalties that you'll be attracting. That applies to all of the packages, except for those paying outright of 700,000 naira. Boom. With that being said, please don't forget to join us on Wednesday at exactly 7 p.m. Nigerian time at the Armed Forces Radio 107.7. And we'll be able to take more of your calls and pitching your business and also talking to us about your ideas. If you have a business currently and you feel that you want to talk about your business, you just want to get a free promotion, please use the number that is currently available on the screen or the ones you are calling currently and send us a WhatsApp to say you want to talk about your business, and we're going to consider you and also put you on the pool on that day. We'll ask you to call in, and if you call in, fine. If you don't call in, we might try to call you, but if your number doesn't go through, then it is what it is, like they say. I remain your host, the Afropolitan Apostle, the Pan-African Bridge Consultant. And so please always remember that Africa is our home. This continent belongs to us. We only just have a divided mindset that is making us to feel that Nigeria is different from Tanzania and South Africa is different from Ghana. With that being said, I'll see you on the subsequent production. Bye for now. Remain peaceful with one another. God bless you.
The Afro1 Show, voice of a new tribe, where the Afropolitan spirit rises as we come together to rebuild Africa, Nigeria, and its marketplace, empowering its people and the diaspora with everything they need. Together, we form a new tribe, creating opportunity and access to markets, driving reinvestments, fostering collaboration, and working to elevate and one another with proven solutions. A true revival in Africa is possible despite the challenges, though through intentional development that drives innovation, delivers mutual benefits, and inspires a culture of ownership for Africa and Africans. The time is now to unite, innovate, elevate with the Afropolitan Apostle, Darlington Steve, on the Afro1 Show, voice of the new tribe.